it's a cold, cold. Came up from the bottom, it's a cold, cold world. Just cop it, I'm a Roddy with some iced out bro. Got me singing like I'm Melly.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Jack Troy here. I just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving to anybody, who got to celebrate with their family, maybe anyone in the military service. If you're out for work, you got to maybe celebrate it by yourself. Just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving, get that out there. I'm actually in my new spot where I'm going to be studying for my real estate license. That's going to start in about a week and a half on December 5th. But until then, this is kind of where I'm going to be at. I'm going to be going to the gym around here. This is, mid-York, or New York, somewhere called Yorktown. But yeah, until then, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be stationed here. It's kind of like a new background. I got my mining rig where I used to mine crypto. I'll make some videos on that. And yeah, today's video is going to be about manifestation. It's going to be about persistence and kind of how to keep yourself on the track of things so you could attract a lot more into your life sooner. But between now and then, I'm actually going to go head to the gym. I'll take some clips of that. I'm working out with a few friends of mine. And then I'll be back. I'll make the video and we'll get into the information. So I'm going to put a timestamp if you don't want to watch any of the stuff between, where you can go and just start getting into the information. But I actually did get some comments I wanted to address, and it was about clipping the video, because I know a lot of people like it when it kind of pieces together, kind of keeps your brain attentive so you can kind of learn easier. I will be doing that. I'm going to start clipping things together, kind of make it more of an official YouTube video. This is more just happening on my iPhone. I don't have a camera for this right now. But between now and then, this is kind of what I'm working with. But with that being said, I'll see you guys in my chair, and I'll put a timestamp for when you can start the actual video. All right, welcome back to my chair of wisdom in my new location, as I guess we'll say. Today's video, like I said in the intro, is going to be about manifestation. I know I said persistence as well, but that kind of goes along with anything you do. So I'll make a video on that at some point, but right now I kind of want to cover manifestation as well as the steps to actually how to manifest exactly what you want, right? There's 7 main steps. I'll go over each of them, but before I get into those, I want to go over the misconceptions that people might actually have with manifestation, as well as like the misguidances that are out there. Because there's a lot of now new mainstream knowledge on this whole topic, but what it's done is actually kind of thrown people off on how to acquire it, because people think it's more material than it actually is in terms of manifesting. Because you can manifest material things, but the process of it is non-material, and it's all internal, right? So really quickly, the law, or the manifestation runs off of something called the law of attraction. Now, that pretty much just states that anything you desire, want to bring into your existence through persistent action, visualization, all those things, you can attract that to yourself and to your life. But people sometimes go about it by working too hard, because believe it or not, you can work too hard towards it and it pushes it away, right? So there's more of a real hidden truth in this community of everyone that really knows how to make it work, which is that the law of attraction isn't the right way to actually say it. It's something called the law of assumption. The law of assumption pretty much is but assuming that it already exists in your day-to-day life and going about your life feeling and living, being in that vibration, being in that height of mood about that certain thing that you wish to be there, as if it's already there. And that's really the secret to it. But there's a way to actually go about doing it, right? It's not just, hey, it's there, so it's there. I'm gonna feel however I want to, and maybe it'll show up one day. It's like you have to step into it. You have to live. It's called like living into it. You have to live into that new future, right? That live into that new experience, that new life that you really want. Now I'm gonna go over the steps. As I go, I'm gonna have them pop up on one of the sides, probably my left side, your right side, and I'll just I'll have them written out. And at the end, I'll go back over them very briefly so you can write it down if you haven't. But that'll be my way of explaining this. So I'm gonna get into it now. Number 1, you have to visualize. I don't know if many of you guys are actually able to do this. I heard it's something like 80% of people can't make a movie in their head or like see things, see like visuals. Like you can't like close your eyes and like picture something happening. If you're able to do that, great. That's the first step. Visualizing is one of the main things that kind of drive your ability to see it before it actually materializes. Like people are like, oh, I have to see it to believe it. Well, guess what? You can visualize it to see it, which makes yourself believe it before it's actually there in your 3D life, right? That's why you dream. Dreaming is another version of visualization. I'm pretty sure every human dreams, so there you go. Everyone can do it. Everyone has the ability to do it. It's just about being able to do it on command, and not only on command, but intentionally for the things you want to come into your specific existence, right? So visualizing can go, you could do it through meditation. You could do it through vision boards, like making something like a piece of paper, or putting like tabs on a whiteboard with certain things that you want, cutting out magazine pictures. I've done it in all different kinds of ways throughout my years, and honestly, I've found the best way to be a physical copy of something, not something online, but like making something, like putting it up there, making it like a cork board or something. And you kind of go back to it every day, have it above your computer, have it above somewhere where you, I guess, like sit down every day to like gather yourself or work or whatever. You can always look back at it and be like, okay. But that's just the first step. There's a few other steps to this, right? There's 7 steps. So step number 1 is visualize, right? However you can do that. Step number 2 is desire, right? You actually have to want it. You have to, and not just want it, you have to like be driven to acquire this thing or to be in that life, and it has to like have a fire inside of you. You have to garner some sort of like mission, like internal mission, and why you want that, and that's your desire for it. Some people think that they want something and they actually don't, so they try to go about manifesting it, and it never ends up working out, simply because they actually don't want it as much as they think they do. And that's some people's downfalls. And it sucks to see sometimes people like think that it doesn't work, or they write off manifestation as not real, but it's really their own lack of want for that certain, I should say, object, because some people just want to be more materialistic, so I'll use that as an example. I like to manifest certain situations or positions, being in certain positions in my life, to help others and be able to fund certain dreams I have. So I kind of use it in that way. So yeah, that's really like desire comes from an internal thing. Like usually you only want to manifest something you usually desire. So I guess that works if you already care about it that much. And if not, you can get yourself to care about it. There's ways to do that. I'm not going to go into it now. I'm just going over the steps at the moment. But at the moment, yeah, so just find a way to desire it, find a way to actually care about it, or manifest something you already care about. Practice on something that you already want, right? And this also leads into the next step, which is belief. You have to believe you can have it. You have to believe that it's possible for that certain thing to come into your existence, for it to, how should I say, like almost like think back to like the Polar Express, right? Everyone knows that movie. If you don't, I'm sorry. I can't help you there, but in that movie, everything was about the kids' belief that something was real for them to actually see that life and get on the train and like have their whole experience. But in order for it to happen, like their internal belief had to be there that it was possible. You can have a desire for something and you can have a vision for something, but also not believe in it. And that's the next step. Like if you don't believe in it, there's a disconnect. There's like it's pushing it away. It's what we call. It's like there's something. And the best part about it is like it's easier to make yourself believe something than it is to make yourself desire something. So you can make yourself believe that your possibilities are, there's a bigger possibility of that certain thing happening. But that's also another thing. You have to believe that it's 100% possible and it's going to happen. Not even like, oh, it can happen. It's going to happen, and not that it's already happened. Like you have to believe it's already happened. And there's many ways to trick your mind into getting there. I'll make another video on that. It's just the steps, but there's ways you could trick your mind. There's ways you can kind of soothe yourself into it. But the first 2 steps before this help you get to belief, right? You visualize, you create that desire. It makes you feel like, oh, I can do this, and then it's like, I believe I can do this. It's like it almost manifests out of those 2 previous things, right? The next step, right? The next step is acceptance. So once you've mastered those first 3, you have to come to accept that thing that you're trying to manifest, a position, material, relationship, whatever it is, it's already there. Not that you can do it, but that it's already there, and that you've accepted that it's a part of your life, and then you live on in the feeling that it's already happened. Not many people can just do this off the bat. This takes work. It does take practice. It's like a muscle you have to build, because then it becomes easier for more things you can do. In my previous videos, I talked about subliminals and frequencies that you play during your sleep. This all plays into your subconscious mind. And this allows you to actually kind of drill it in while you're not even awake. Because most of the things that are blocking your manifestations are your thoughts in your conscious mind. You can't really control that. That's a lot of the thoughts you have during your day are thoughts from the previous day, and the day before that, and the day before that, and the day before that, and the months before that, just repeating themselves, and like you're getting some new ones here and there, but a lot of what you're running off of is old junk. But there's a way to get rid of it, right? So once you've actually sifted through a lot of the junk, you can come to the terms with, hey, I believe I can have this, and I'm going to accept that it is part of my reality that this is happening or going to happen or has already happened. That's the best part. Some people have to start before that, but the best place to get to is like, hey, this has already happened, okay? So the next step is to intend for it to happen. Now, once you've visualized it, you've believed it, you've accepted it, or you've visualized it, desired it, believed it, then you accepted it. Now it's come into your control, and you're like, you know what? I can make this happen. I'm going to intend for these things to happen. That's where you can direct your manifestation, right? That's when you can actually grab the controls and be like, all right, this is what I want to happen now. This is what I want to happen now. It's going to go in these steps. And you kind of bring that into your life. You can help others do it. You can help yourself more than others. Honestly, it's really up to how you want to take it. But your intention is really, it's like it's part of your free will. It's part of your consciousness. It's part of what makes you a human, is being able to intend something. Your intention's everything. Just like if you can say something to someone, they might take it a certain way that you might not want them to take it, but your intention is pure. Your intention is there. Therefore, they're going to be like, okay, if you say something that might offend somebody, but you intended it in like a completely different way, your intention is what matters, and that can resolve things in the end. So the same direction, same thing with your manifestation. Your intention can actually direct it in like completely different ways, and some people get all the way down to this step, and then they intend for things to happen they don't mean to happen, but they have so much control over their manifestation at this point that things either might go wrong, or not wrong, because nothing ever happens on accident or by coincidence, right? But okay, so the next step number 6, is action. This step is completely vital, and honestly, none of the other steps before this are going to get momentum until you do this, which is just action. You have to take actions. You have to act. You have to get up. If you want to live a certain lifestyle and be, let's say, a millionaire, like everyone wants to be a millionaire, right? You have to take steps and start to change your habits and your life to imitate or be just like those who are living that kind of life. What is the lifestyle you want? What do you want to be doing every day? And how do you see yourself making money, living your, like, how do you see yourself existing? Start to do that. Start to live like that. People are like, some people think that they can't do this until they get to a certain place. Not true. Completely false. Completely in your head. You have to emulate it and actually take steps towards it and become it, which will then turn you into it. You can't just wait for it to come and then start acting like it, because then you're not prepared. Opportunity or luck is opportunity met with preparation. There's no such thing as luck, right? So that's another law of this, but I'll make a whole different video on that. There's a lot of topics that can get derived off this. Actually, I'm probably gonna make podcasts on all this. I have my podcast, if you guys don't remember. It's called Collective. It's with my younger brother. My first 30 episodes are by myself, but I just brought him into this. We have a record company together now. But we have some good content on the way, and we're probably gonna have like 1 to 2 podcasts per week coming out in the near future. But I just wanted to get this YouTube channel established, right? But like I said, even J. Cole, if you know J. Cole, he quoted this. He's like, you can dream, but don't neglect the execution, which is the thing that makes the dream reality, or else you're just a dreamer. There's dreamers and there's doers. There's thinkers and there's doers. The doers are the people who make the things happen. They have the dreams, right? but they actually take action. A lot of people just sit there, and you know, the next, oh, I'll do it tomorrow ends up 3 years down the line and you haven't made progress on it, and you're like, why can't I do it? Because you haven't done the simple steps that you needed to take. It just takes a little progress every day, baby steps, and you'll see a massive change in how you act, how you think, how you feel, and it's a machine. It fuels itself. And I promise you, if you take this and use these steps in the exact way that I'm describing them to you, give it a week. Watch what happens. Just like, I can't even explain this enough. I've helped countless people at this point kind of come to this realization and take action on their goals, their dreams, their business ideas, their whatever it is, right? And it brings results to every human because nobody is left out. You're not different. I don't care how much you think you're different, you can still do this. You're not the one who's left out of this, right? But this then brings me to the last law of this, which is allowance. Allowance is pretty much the ability to detach from your outcome. So you don't want to set a time frame on manifestations because they can come tomorrow, they can come in 10 years from now. But I promise they're going to come in a different way than you expected them, but it's going to be 10 times better than you expected them to actually, happen. When you detach yourself from that outcome, the time frame and all that, it allows the energies that drive those manifestations to actually just happen. It allows it to just come through, take place, and just happen. It's that last step that it's like an invisible step, an invisible wall that people can't sometimes get to. They're like a mime on it. But it's I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like you have to completely detach. You have to completely detach from when, why, and how. It's just know it's going to happen and be okay with it just happening, and then just be happy about it. And it sounds stupid until you actually go and you try it, and you're like, oh, I see, I get it. Like it's gonna be like I get it. I see what he means. I see what everyone means that talks about this. It's as simple as that. It's like there's no second guessing yourself. There's no worry about it. There's no fear, and then it's not gonna happen. You just detach from it. You're taking the actions. You're taking the steps. You just know it's gonna happen. And it's just like doing it. It's just like getting up and like knowing I'm gonna go take a shower. I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to think I'm gonna like, oh God, I gotta desire, and like it's like I desire to take a shower. I believe I could take a shower. I'm accepting that I'm going to take a shower, that I'm going to be clean, right? I intend to take a shower. I take the action to go take a shower, and then I just let it happen. I don't give a crap about what happens, right? And I end up clean. Oh my God, great. It's as simple as that, right? That's kind of an easier example. But like I said, so I'll run through these really quickly so you guys can write them down if you haven't before. Remember, I'm going to have them somewhere in the video on the screen. First is vision. You have to visualize it first. Then you have to desire it. Then you have to believe that you can have it and that you already will have it, right? Then you have to accept that you have it, right? Believing is believing that you can get it, and then accepting is like, okay, now I believe I get it, can have it, now I have it, right? It's in your mind. Now I have it. Then you have to intend. You have to intend to bring that manifestation to light and take action on it. Then you take action on it, right? That's number 6. And then that leads you to just allowance, which is detaching from the outcome, detaching of how it happens, detaching of when it happens. Because the quicker you detach and the less you try to control it with your own hands, the better things are going to come out. The faster it's going to happen, the faster everything's going to bring itself to light in your life. And you're going to have a very good time, and you're going to want to keep doing it over and over and over, and you want to teach people how to do it. And it's as simple as that. So again, if you like my content, if you want to hear more in-depth topics on this, my brother and I released a podcast. It's on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, 10 or 15 different other, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, all those different places you can listen to podcasts. You can find us on there at Collective. Jack Troy and JTTI, who's my younger brother's alias for his music. You can find us. I have a bunch of interviews with young entrepreneurs who are millionaires at the age of 20, 22, as well as just topics on mindset, manifestation, life, everything that could probably give you some guidance, maybe some tips, tricks, things you can use and take into your own life. But yeah, like I said, if you like my content, if you appreciate it, if you want to see more of my journey, if you want to see how I'm going to build a multifamily real estate portfolio, retire my mom, get myself to millionaire status, all that kind of stuff, I'm documenting everything on here. I'm doing videos every single day without fail, whether it's 10, 15, 20 minutes, just to kind of bring that into light. So I want to thank everybody for listening. Like and subscribe if you found value, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.
It's a cold, cold world. Came up from the bottom, it's a cold, cold world. Just cop a Maserati with some ice.